It is Elimination Sunday today at Martinsville Speedway as we come down to the Eliminator race in the contender round of the chase. Today, 12 drivers are left as of right now. But at the end of the day, 12 will become 8. And if you're Carl Edwards or Kevin Harvick fans, a good qualifying spot at a place like Martinsville is what you need. So the drivers, pretty good qualifying spots for the top 8. So you got Dylan Murray on the pole, Denny Hamlin starting 2nd, Jeff Gordon starting 3rd, Carl Edwards starting 4th, Matt Kenseth starting 5th, Kevin Harvick starting 6th, Jimmy Johnson starting 7th, Kyle Busch starting 8th, Dale Earnhardt Jr. starting in 9th, and then Kurt Busch and Brad Keselowski down in row 7, and Ryan Newman in row 8. So all of the chasers starting inside the top 15 today as we begin to figure out the 12 drivers, the 8 drivers that will be moving on to the Eliminator round, which will feature 2 night races back-to-back at Atlanta and Texas. Pace car is in. Dylan Murray and Martinsville Masters, Denny Hamlin and Jeff Gordon are in the first 2 rows. We're underway at Martinsville. Whoa, bad start for Dylan Murray, way out of the outside lane. That's what happens. He must have missed a spot and just ran Denny Hamlin up the racetrack. Now Denny Hamlin is trying to scramble to find a way to get in. And what a way for the seas to part for Jeff Gordon as he gets to lead the first lap today. Dylan Murray forcing it 3 wide. Hamlin's still way up on the outside lane. He's probably screaming right now at his spotter to get him down. And that's just a preview of what to expect this afternoon. And that's simply a preview of what to expect. A lot of cars getting tight, a lot of drivers moving up the track, drivers getting impatient, drivers using the bumper. I guarantee you, if a guy like Kevin Harvick or Carl Edwards or Kurt or Busch or even Brad Keselowski even are in a position to win, or if it requires them to advance, like they need that point, you're going to see somebody get put in the wall, I bet. Dylan Murray will take the lead back from Jeff Gordon. Gordon will hold strong on the outside lane and get up the track, and Dylan Murray will take the top spot and lead this lap. Dylan Murray continuing to pull away from Jeff Gordon by about 2 seconds each lap. A very similar start to what happened at Kansas, except Dylan Murray didn't run the outside driver up the racetrack. And in fact, let's see what Denny Hamlin had to say on the radio after being pushed from 2nd to 10th. All right. Tell that fucker in the 25 if he's near me, I'm putting him in the wall. 1 turn in, and we've already got drama here at Martinsville. And that's just, it's a cold day, obviously, at Martinsville. You're racing here in the fall. But, lap 1, that kind of falls on both of you because you didn't warm up the tires. Dylan didn't warm up his tires on that initial start. And Denny Hamlin didn't really do it that much either. And he didn't really expect it, so he's kind of got to nurse that left front and see if there's any possible damage to Hamlin. And, oh, all right, yep. If you see him, dump his ass. That was Denny Hamlin's spotter talking. Mike Ford. Dylan Murway already starting to put cars a lap down here at Martinsville. Dylan Murway trying to hold off McDowell, 98. Jeff Gordon currently is sitting as the last man in after his 28th place run at Kansas, his worst run in a while. Actually, he's having a nice run going. Dylan Murway is your leader. Jeff Gordon would be second. So technically, as of right now, Murway and Gordon would sit second and third in the playoff reseeding going into Atlanta on Saturday night. So runs like this help. Let's just say the least. Labonte crossing under Dylan Murway to fight to get his lap back. Takes it away and holds the spot going into turn one. Dylan Murway has opened his gap over Jeff Gordon by approximately 8.5 seconds. And he puts Trevor Bain a lap down. Regan Smith passes the 21 and the 25 to get his lap back. Another one of those things to note on short tracks is you're going to be very physical with somebody if you need to. If the left side if you use up the right side, the paint's off, the clear coat, the tire is off, the tires are worn out, you've been racing. If your left side's been used up, you've been raced, to say the least. If the right side of someone's car has been used up, they're just racing at a short track. If the left side's been used up, they've been raced. Dylan Murway trying to get Reagan a lap down. Paul Menard will do the same here. As Dylan Murway has led the last 15 laps as of right now. There is a whole Congo line of cars up ahead. As Logano using the bumper to get his lap back. That won't matter. Dylan Murway is just putting him up and putting him down. I think he's about to lap the two of Keselowski here, as he's just running everybody ragged, basically. Murray almost spins around. Dylan trying to look under the two of Keselowski. He needs a good run here. And either him or Kurt Busch need a win. Harvick and Edwards right now, they're doing fine as Dylan Murway's cut a tire. As Jeff Gordon will reassume control of the lead. Dylan Murway lapped a pretty big chunk of the field here. Of the field in that early stretch. And Dylan Murway just went a lap down to Jeff Gordon. You have to play it the old-fashioned way. Race by the leader. And here comes Kenseth to take the lead 3 wide there. That didn't matter. Dylan Murway's going to race by all of them. What the volume should be important there. And now Dylan Murway has the fun task of racing his way back to the front to get his lap back at to get back to the lead at Martinsville. Jeff Gordon takes it back from Kenseth here. McDowell basically just broke Murway's ankles going into turn 3. And takes the lead back. Dylan Murway basically just flying by the field. Right now, he's got Landon Castle in 35th, and looks like a couple cars have begun green flag stops in the early stages of the Tums Fast Relief 500. Dylan Murway hit, while Dylan Murway was putting cars a lap down, he unfortunately ended up cutting a tire. It looks like a couple more cars are heading to the pits. Carl Edwards takes the lead from Jeff Gordon. He needs a win to advance. He'd obviously would like a win, but it's not like Kurt Busch or Brad Keselowski who need to win, essentially. Kurt Busch is leading, and essentially half the field is on pit road at this point, as we see how they blend. Whoa! Almost a big moment there between Dylan Murway and Matt Kenseth. Luckily, that sorts itself out. Kenseth is a lap down car. Dylan Murway is not. Jeff Gordon is also a lap down. Meaning Trevor Bayne is now your leader. And he will and it looks like Jeff Gordon could reassume control of the lead here. by the time things seem to settle down. Bobby Labonte is now your leader. Very unusual to have this much of a green flag run in a race at Martinsville and going as far into the race as we have. Very unusual. You've had the first 37 laps have been complete. It's been the Dylan Murway and Jeff Gordon show with guest host Matt Kenseth. As Dylan Murray continues to slice his way through the pack. Austin Dillon coming back in the line. And we're back to another long run of green flag racing as we have completed the first 39 laps today under green, with probably the only really major moment of discussion was Dylan Murway running Denny Hamlin up the track in turn 1 on lap 1. As Reed Smith gets tipped into the wall, we stay green. Everybody's several laps behind. McMurray is Nemechek just blended in the line. Keselowski looking for a way to get in. And Dylan Murway has lapped the entire field. As of right now, Dylan Murway is the only car on the lead lap. Tony Stewart smacks the wall. Somehow, a caution has not come out. And I think at this point, you're going to see a lot of, aggression from Dylan Murway, as he is basically just setting an amazingly stupid fast pace here at Martinsville. Just lapping through cars like it's nothing. Dylan Murway, Jeff Gordon are first and second. .43 laps have been completed. Dylan Murway uses up the 39 of Newman. Try to duck way down low. Try to pin Junior up the track. As a lot of cars have been banging into the wall, but haven't really done it much in the way of causing a caution in the first 46 laps of this race. 46 laps. Pretty much the entire field is a lap down up to this point. Blasting through the pack like it's nothing. The entire field is a lap down. Some of them are multiple laps down up to this point.
Look at your water temperature. I can add tape if you want to go faster. Okay, buddy, we're standing by.
as Jeff Gordon and probably a good majority of these cars are going to have to unlapping themselves. That's the only way they're going to have to pass Dylan Norway. And Dylan Norway will come out back in probably 13th. And Jeff Gordon will lead the 49th lap of this race. We've made it basically half the race without a caution. And hopefully things stay that way as of right now. They're looking to stay that way as of right now as we begin the next round of green flag stops. As Dylan Norway just shot past probably 4 cars like he was shot out of a cannon. Roughs David Gillen up to make him lose probably 3 spots there. Kurt Busch and Casey Kane are your top 2. Dylan Norway is in 3rd. And Dylan Norway is going to leapfrog to the lead. Kurt Busch looking under Casey Kane. And now more drivers are on pit road. 53. We've completed 52 laps. We are working lap 53 as of right now. And Dylan Norway continues to basically fly by the field like it's nothing. Lapping the field, he's barreling through the field. Essentially like it's nothing. And this is huge. I mean, I know this is green flag pit stops, but Jeff Gordon sitting 36th lap down. He's probably going to be multiple laps down at this point. So the only way some of these guys can have a shot at unlapping themselves would be a caution, or at least a caution or 2. Almost had one there with Clint Boyer. Dylan Norway up the curb, and he's just going to put Greg Biffle a lap down. Nobody's really touching Dylan Norway regardless. He's flying through this field. 57 laps. We've completed 56 laps. We're about to complete lap 57. As we speak, Jimmy Johnson sits in second, 9 seconds back. And at this point, clear track ahead for Dylan Norway is all he needs to see. Maybe one car up ahead. Other than that, clear track is all he wants to look at. That and Jennifer Aniston. Let's not get stupid. As Dylan Norway has opened up a full 10-second gap ahead of Jimmy Johnson, and the lead continues to grow. A lot. Forty laps to go in this race, in a race that has been very unusual for Martinsville. No cars have been spun out. I mean, sure, we've had some physical moments, cars being muscled around, but we have not had any yellow. We have not had any caution today for any incident. 10 cars are on the lead lap. Bobby Labonte is the last of them as we speak. Dylan Murway and Bobby Labonte doing the crossover. Ryan Newman and Kyle Busch are on pit road, and that make that 7 cars on the lead lap. So it's like McDowell's coming in, and Jimmy Johnson and Travis Kvapil. McDowell came out of the pits. David Gilliland is into the wall. Dylan Murway is basically just muscled Dale Jr. out of the way. So now we got 4 cars on the lead lap. Carl Edwards obviously fighting to keep that 99 Ford on the lead lap. He needs something to go his way until he goes a lap down again. We've ran 66 laps today, caution free. Getting to the start finish line. Dylan Murway continuing to just fly through traffic. Essentially like it's nothing, and the caution comes out. We broke the streak. We broke the streak. They broke the streak of running caution-free. Austin Dillon gets into the wall. Dylan Murway is obviously going to need a new right front tire after basically 3 green flag cycles. So, and somehow out of all of this, Dylan Murway is still your leader.
That was our fastest stop today. Awesome work, boys.
30 laps left, 32 now to get this restart. Ironically, we restart on lap 69. Kevin Harvick is scored in second, and Dylan Murway is going to go running high.
Ready to go.
30 laps left in this race. What has been a very dominating affair by Dylan Murway in the 25 Chevrolet, starting on the pole, basically leading all but maybe a handful of laps up to this point. And basically anything that it would take for Dylan Murway to lose, Kevin Harvick to win, Dylan Murway needs to just park this thing, basically.
Whatever you're doing,
11.5 seconds due to all the drivers that were several laps behind. That really jumbled up the start-finish order for the restart order. Kevin Harvick is scored as second, but he's in the middle of this pack. As we begin another round of green flag stops, we got one car peeling out of line. That is Robbie Gordon in the 7. That was Austin Dillon, though. He was the only car that got turned off of Matt Kenseth into the inside wall. Sorry, the outside wall in turn 3. He is the only yellow, and he is the only reason this race has been slowed up, because essentially we've ran 2/3 of this entire race, save for maybe 3 laps under green. And speaking of Austin Dillon, he is heading towards pit road as we speak. And Truex up the track. Looks like he is still green. You can see Kevin Harvick up in second. He is just coming off turn 4. And that should really tell you where he sits in the pack. 20 seconds back. Regan Smith was peeled off the track. He is on pit road. Kyle Busch goes a lap down. Or another lap down. Or, I don't know. I don't know how many laps down the field is, other than the fact that Dylan Rowe is basically about to lap the entire field yet again. If he can get by Kevin Harvick. That was easy. Dylan Murray trying to edge under Casey Kane, put him a lap down. Labonte, Martin, Bernard, Trevor Bayne, maybe. Let's go up the track. Oh, okay. A little bit of damage to Landon Castle. No further incident. I mean, in all honesty, the only thing Dylan Murray can do at this point, cruise. Because you just earned yourself a dominating win today. Leading basically 50-plus laps. And other than those 2 moments, Dylan Murray getting tight and running Hamlin up the racetrack, to which Denny Hamlin vowed revenge. And Austin Dillon getting turned by Matt Kenseth. We've really not had a lot of issues today. No cautions. Pretty much every car in this field is in pristine condition, which is, well, mostly pristine condition for the most part. Stenhouse and Hamlin. Oh, trouble. Yellow flag number 2. Stenhouse, Kenseth, and Montoya. Basically, the entire field is pitted, save for Keselowski on back. They're multiple laps down. So as of right now, the drivers that will be eliminated at the end of this race from the playoffs, Denny Hamlin and Brad Keselowski are 2 of them. Kenseth, while he's running 31st, he has that win in the bag at Charlotte, which is good. Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch. All Harvick and Busch can do at this point, since the distance from Kyle Busch to Kurt Busch is just 2 points. Harvick needs to pass 6 positions and hope Kyle Busch has a problem. And if you're Keselowski or Hamlin, win. Sorry, Harvick's in second now. Him and Dylan Murray are the only drivers that are on the lead lap as we speak. Or if I'm Hamlin or if I'm Keselowski or Denny Hamlin, I would probably think about yellows. And lots of them. It's like an old school race. Carl Edwards also would like to have a shot at a win, but getting out of Martinsville at this point for him would be even sweeter. So Harvick has definitely laid down a solid performance today, which is much better than last week at Kansas. Definitely. Oh, whoa. A little bit of a tight moment there. Dylan Murray driving wide. Runs Biffle up the track. And David Reagan gets turned into the wall. No caution. 10 laps to go. Got one car on pit road. Dylan Murray is bleeding for tires. So far up to this point, Dale Jr. is in third. He is the only him, Dylan Murray, and Kevin Harvick are the only 3 cars on the lead lap. Everybody else is a lap down or more. Can Dylan Murray limp tires that are essentially on bald spots? Can he limp those home? With all the laps he's led and the fact that he's probably going to lead the most laps here by the time this race is over, he's got enough of a cushion that he can just basically ride through into the round of 8 without any issues. Or in the eliminator round. Kind of surprising that we've made it. We've had long green flag runs be the theme at this place at Martinsville. At this point, unless you get a caution, you got what you got. You don't pit with 7 to go with a 13-second lead. And the fact that you're breathing down Dale Jr.'s neck to get back on to put him a lap down. You just don't do that. 6 laps left. And in a race that has been absolute... Whoa! Dylan Murray's got a right front issue. He looks like he gets it out of the way. Where's Kevin Harvick, though? Two tires, and let's get him out of there. This could be huge. Dylan Murray blows the tire with 6 to go. Harvick takes the lead. This means Kevin Harvick could walk up into the round of 8 off of Dylan Murway's misfortune.
Okay, boys, here we go.
And Dylan Murway comes back up onto the racetrack, 1 lap down. Well, just got put a lap down by Kevin Harvick. Obviously hoping for a yellow at this point. Pretty much all you can do. And we may get one here. A lot of cars getting pinballed. We got a caution. This could get nutty. 3 cautions the entire day. Mark Martin slams the wall, and the caution will come out. So Casey Mears is the lucky dog. 3 attempts at a green-white checkered. So Matt Kenseth is in the chase as we speak.
Green-white checker, more to go.
Green-white checkered, attempt number 1. Keselowski just ran Kenseth up the racetrack. This could get nuts. A little chippy here. 2 to go. Dylan Murway basically he's banging around. Edwards gets tipped into the wall, and caution comes out. It's funny how we wait till the last couple laps to have a caution. Oh, Tony Stewart just ran Kyle Busch onto the curb. Wow. So Dylan Murway is the lucky dog on this second green-white checkered attempt. Will Kevin Harvick hold on? Keselowski needs a Hail Mary if he wants to make it into this chase. And Dylan Murway didn't need that. So now we're going to a final attempt at a green-white checker. I give you the world's slowest logjam. So now Jeff Gordon's got a 3-point cushion over his teammate. Jimmy Johnson needs to pass 3 cars to make it into the chase after that big jumble. 3 to go. Final attempt. They are fanning out 4 wide. Casey Mears goes around. And everybody's crashing behind. Final attempt. David Reagan goes around. Now we got cars all over the place. We got a block in turn 1. A smaller block in turn 3. Kenseth and McMurray stay out of the way. And it looks like Kevin Harvick is going to make it to the white. Flag here. If there's no further incident, there's cars all over the place. Harvick just slammed into everybody. There's crashing. There's cars all over the place. Dylan Murway threads the needle through all of this. Is about to go to victory lane at Martinsville off of a wild final green-white checkered attempt. Kevin Harvick just door slammed somebody. in that group.
What can I say?
Wow.
Keep it up, Jim.
5 cautions all and 3 straight green-white checkered attempts. Kevin Harvick somehow ends up third out of all after basically getting T-boning Eric Almirola on that last green-white checkered jam. So we look through the unofficial results. While Matt Kenseth ends up finishing 6 laps down in 40th, he will advance due to his win at Charlotte on Monday night. So Kenseth advances. Denny Hamlin. So Matt Kenseth and Dylan Murray are through to the round of 8 with their wins today. So the 6 remaining spots, Carl Edwards and Kevin Harvick put on amazing performances. They are in. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is in. Ryan Newman is in. And after all that chaos and shuffling, Jimmy Johnson gets lucky enough to get in. Kyle Busch and Jeff Gordon, believe it or not, due to Kyle Busch's better average finish in this round than Jeff Gordon, Kyle Busch will win the tiebreaker and make his way and be in the round of 8, which begins Saturday night at Atlanta. Jeff Gordon, Brad Keselowski, Kurt Busch, and Denny Hamlin will be eliminated from the playoffs. What killed Gordon in this round, unfortunately, was that finish Sunday at Kansas. That's what killed him. So Dylan Murray gets a big win that advances him to the round of 8. We'll see you Saturday night at 8:30 from Atlanta.